So I am on my way. I'm in South London right now, and I am going to be building a bathroom. I'm going to be taking a part of a garage, part of it, and converting it to a bathroom. So some interesting things on this job that I'll hopefully try to show you guys as far as the process of how it goes. I should have a design that I can show you guys that I did on the computer, and a 3D design as well, just to give you an idea of what it's supposed to look like, the layout and stuff like that. Although I think the customer wants to slightly change the layout, which I'll find out when I get there today. But it'll be very, very small change. Probably swapping a toilet and a sink around or something like that. But the general design and sizes will stay as it is. So I'm on my way there now, and I should be there in the next 10 minutes or so. And yeah, we'll pick up when I get down there. So thanks for watching, guys, as usual. Thanks for those of you supporting the channel, and let us know what you think as usual of the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Take care. Okay guys, so this is the space that I'm going to be working in. It's an old garage. This wall is the house, and this is an outside wall, and this is out of the garage. The ceiling is very tall in here. The garage is lower than the house though. I think the floor of the house is somewhere around here somewhere, because there's a socket on the other side of that wall. The staircase of the house runs up here, and the entrance to the house is right here. So there's going to be, at the bottom of the stairs, there'll be a door here, and that will be to come into here. So the plan is, I'm going to mark this out with some spray paint in a bit, so you'll probably see it a bit better. But you're going to enter from here, and there's going to be, you're going to go in the bathroom space is going to be sort of like an L, and there'll be a shower in that corner over there. There'll be a basin here, there'll be a toilet here, and I think there's a bidet here. So first things we're doing today, services. I believe there's a waste pipe in this wall here, which we need to break out to find it and tap into it for the toilets and that. And water is going to come from the other side here, which is the kitchen, on the other side of that wall there. So you can see this room used to have a entrance or a door and a window here, and now there's an extension on that side. So I guess when they built the extension, they blocked up this garage. So I guess the garage was dual aspect. You could come through the garage with your car, and then you could go out into the garden through here, and you had a little window. So this little bit extension here of the kitchen, they've extended the kitchen. So we'll take water from there, and we're going to put a radiator in here. So we're going to take the radiator from there's a bedroom above here, and there's a radiator up there. So we're going to take radiator pipes down from there into here to get to the radiator. So there is a slight slope in here as well. It's higher up here, and it sort of slopes down. Not dramatic, but it slopes down. So what we're going to do is, obviously we need to raise the floor up in here, because the floor of the existing house is somewhere around here. So we're going to build a timber frame that's going to be raised. We'll put a DPM down underneath and build some studding floor up, and then the stud work will go all the way up. For the walls, we'll insulate all of this. We're also going to batten and insulate the exterior wall. We're going to be using 15mm Celotex for the walls. And yeah, that's the general plan in here. A couple of spotlights. It's going to be tiled. It's going to have an extract fan. We've already got vents here, so we're going to use the existing vent for our extract for the bathroom. It's going to go out there, and as I said, we've got to cut a doorway out here, lintel and stuff like that, and it'll be just a standard door, internal door there. So yeah, that's it, guys. So I'm going to start marking this out, and I'll show you what the layout looks like. All right, so this is the rough layout. So I'm just gonna let them come and have a look and see if they're okay with the layout and the space. This is pretty much what they came up with. Well, we came up with it together, sort of. And I'm just trying to transfer that information to the ground. So we've got the bidet here, we've got the toilet, we've got the vanity with a mirror on top, and then we've got a 760mm wide by 1200mm wide shower, and then there's the radiator, and then the door is actually off the page somewhere here. So how does that translate here? We've got the doorway to enter, which should enter here. You'll have a stud wall here, stud wall here, stud wall here, and then you have the bidet here. You've got space here, you've got a radiator on the wall here, you've got a toilet here, you've got a sink here, and you've got a shower here. And ignore this little bit here. So that is basically the space. So I'm just going to run this by them now, let them see what they think, and then we can get started. All right, guys, so good work so far, good progress. I've managed to get in the hole, and I've got good access to get this waste pipe, which is one of the most important parts of this job, is getting good access to our waste pipe. So I'll show you where the pipe is, and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing. So here's the hole that I made. As you can see, it's about 150mm wide. There's the pipe. So I've gone through the inner skin. I'll just show you this a bit better. Gone through the walls. So these are obviously non-cavity, these walls are. So the wall's about 225 deep, which is the width of a brick. You can see there's a full brick going that way. This used to be the external wall of the house, as I said before, going into the garden. There's no cavity in it. Now the other side of that wall is now in the extension, and this is below the floor of the extension. There's our damp-proof course here. This is below the concrete floor of the extension. It's very hard to see, there's not much light, but the concrete base is a bit higher up, and then this is, I guess, sub base. I got a lot of rubble and stuff like that, so that was good. There was some concrete around the pipe. There is some concrete right here, but it's a weak mix, so it was easy to break out with my breaker. It was a bit tricky breaking around the back, but I managed to get it all out. And it goes up into the wall. It's hollow. It's boxed in the kitchen, behind the kitchen cabinet. So it's hollow. I can get my arm up there, which will make it easier when I cut a section of this out to slip a bit of pipe in there and slip it back down and make my join. So this is where our outlet's going to be. It's going to come out, and then there will be a bend across here to the toilet. So happy days so far. Now this is the other side of the garage wall. This is inside the house, in the entrance area of the house. You've got the stairs to the left and the front door to the right. So I've already drilled a hole at the floor level through to next door. So now I know where our height of our floor is. So I am in the bathroom, which is directly above the kitchen. So I believe this bathroom is also part of the extension. It looks like a 2-story extension. The kitchen below it and the bathroom is exactly the same size. Now I need to get pipes from this bathroom downstairs and run it along the top of the ceiling, along the beam. I'm going to box it in and everything after, and then it will run. Basically, I want to get it down from the bidet here, hot and cold, and then run it along the wall below, which I'll show you, and then through into the garage and drop down. That's the idea. So basically, and this is without having to ruin and rip up this glued down Cardine floor. So this is underneath the bidet. We've got a hot and cold here. If I can drill down through the floorboards and then come through the ceiling down the kitchen, tight across the beam, I should be able to get some pipes down there. We've got a joist running along here, floor joist. So I believe from about 60 mil out, I can get 2 holes here and drop 2 pipes down. That's gonna be the plan. So I'm gonna drill that and see what's below. Okay, so change of plans. I ended up cutting the ceiling, and as you can see, there's the bidet's waste pipe. I've cut 2 access holes because there's actually 2 ceilings here. A ceiling that got damaged, that never got repaired, and then a second ceiling that has been basically floated below it. So I can run my pipes within that void. So I've managed to come through up here, as you can see, and that gets me in the false ceiling void, which I'll just show you guys in a minute. And that's where I'm gonna run my water pipes from the bidet, and they're gonna run in here, and then they'll come along the walls down to wherever they need to go. I'm also gonna take the radiator pipes from up in the bathroom as well, and they'll run across up in the ceiling, and they'll drop down to the radiator. So results so far, I'm off to pick up a couple of bits, and I'm gonna try and see if I can make the connection here to the toilet, and also run some of these pipes down to where they need to be. So I'm gonna shoot off, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I've set up my laser, which you can see here, and I've got, that's the hole that I've drilled through the other side. Let me go this side. At floor level, the floor is just about underneath that drill bit, so it's pretty much, that's the level of the floor of the house, and you can see it's running all the way along here, round here, and over here. So the most important thing for me at floor level right now is to get the toilet stack as low underneath that as I can, because the shower is going to connect into that as well as the sink and all this stuff. So we want to get that as low as we can. I'm going to use something like this. No, not this one. Something like this to connect. So I won't be doing that today because I haven't got all the bits, so I don't want to cut into the waste pipe and not have the bits to connect to it. So I turn off the light, and now you can see a lot better where the line is all the way around. And I'm just going to do a sprayer line on it, just so that while I'm working, I've got sort of a line that I can work with, and I can come back to that when I'm ready to start battening the wall. Okay, so I've turned off the light in here, which makes it a lot easier for me to see the laser line, and I'm just going to spray a line on this just so I've got a rough idea where the line is. So when I'm working with my pipes, I know that I'm going to be below that line. There's our line now. I've got a good reference point. I can work now on this area here. Toilet pipe connector is going to come out and it's going to run along the wall. And our toilet's going to be there. So guys, I just realized it's 5 o'clock. I think I'm going to stop here. I need to cut that toilet pipe, but in order for me to do that, I need to get a slip coupler, which I didn't pick up. I don't know why I missed that. So I'll pick that up in the morning when I come in. First thing I'll do is get the waste pipe teed in and screwed to the wall where the toilet's going to be. And after I've done that, or you get the radiator pipes in through that same hole. I'll show you where I put the hot and cold pipes. Just another quick tip: if you're going to do something like this and you're running pipes, make sure you label them so you know which ends are which on both ends. So here I've labeled one with one bit of tape, and the other end here has got 2 bits of tape. I also wrote somewhere on them hot as well, hot and cold. But it's a good idea to do that. So when you're connecting up, you just know what end is what. So yeah, get those done tomorrow, and get that waste pipe in. And once that's done, I can actually start building the timber floor, which you can see where the height is. Stops there, runs across, runs down here, and then runs across to here. And you can see the height of the floor from the ground is probably about, I would say, almost 2 foot at this end, and maybe 1 3/4 foot down that end. So if all goes to plan tomorrow, I will probably start building this deck. It'd be good if I can get that. Once I've got the deck in, it's going to be really easy to connect the services because all the pipes are going to be underneath that timber deck, and I'll be easily able to run the pipes underneath it and pop back up to the toilet, pop up to the sink, pop up to the bidet to get the hot and cold, and the same thing with the waste for the shower. I can do that as well like that. All right. So again, I've made this hole a bit bigger. So now this is the hole into the house, and I mean, you can't see from here, but I can see the actual floorboards of the house in there, and I can see the floor joists. So I'll be able to get my top of my wall plate to be the same height as the floor joists in there. And then I'm going to bolt the wall joist across to there, and across to there, and a bit across to there. And I'm going to use some chemicals. I've used this in videos before. I can show you guys this stuff here. I'll be using this stuff to bolt the anchors resin into the walls, and I will be using on the advice of people before, which is easier to use, is to bolt these threaded studs into the wall, and once they're set, put the plates on and bolt them up. Again, I'll be using these washers as well as the washers that come with it, because I just think these washers are better because they're larger. And then I'll bolt that up and then build the frame. So let's get on with the pipe work. So this is what I'm going to be using to get inside here, and that is basically going to fit inside here where we cut into the pipe. And then I'll also be using one of these couplers here to join it on as well.
So there we go. So there we go, pipe's cut, that's the lower part there, and that's the upper part there. So our pipe is in, it's just sitting and resting on top of that at the moment, but it will be get clipped to the wall. So I've left a bit of space here, because obviously there's going to be a stud wall, and then this is going to be running to the inside of the wall, so that little gap is for the stud wall there, and you'll see I've connected it in. And use the joint slip coupler. So I slid that up and then got the bottom part in with a little bit of pipe on it, and then slid it back down and tightened that up. So that's all good now. So I'm gonna test now, make sure we've got no leaks or anything, and our connection is good to go. Okay guys, so you can see I've built this frame. I'll try to explain what I've done here. The frame, the timber joists are 400 centers. It's actually 400 here, here, here. Because of the bolts in the way, I couldn't get 400. So if you can't get 400, you've got to make it less than 400. And then the next one after that goes 400, 400. So that's what I've done here. And what I'm going to do, so I've put in a DPC, wrapped up the wall here, sitting on the floor and up the wall here. Because, I don't know if you can see, but our damp proof course is 1 brick low here. So all this stuff is above the damp proof course. Or anything below here is below the damp proof course, and I don't know if there's a damp proof membrane in the floor, so that's why the wood is sitting on that damp proof course. And I also brought it up the wall and wrapped it around here, so none of these are touching potential damp walls. So next I'm going to do, you can see I'm putting joist hangers on this side to hold the weight of the floor joist. This side I've just temporarily put in some screws. But I am going to put in these supports. I'm going to put in supports like these, and they're going to sit under here, and half of them, the joist will be sitting on half of this as well. So that's going to be an extra support. I'll put one under each one. Once I've done that, then I'm going to do the similar thing that I've done here, but along this way. So that will be this little section, which is a lot smaller, shouldn't take as long, and it will be built exactly the same, just like that. And obviously I'll tie it into this and then go around like that. And if I get that done, then I'm going to put some noggins in here, and the deck is done.
Hi guys, so I'm done for today. It's a good day today, very productive. Got a lot of carpentry done, got the toilet stack done, and I'll just run through a couple of things that I did and explain what I did, why I did it, what needs to be done as well tomorrow. So obviously I connected the toilet. I'm gonna fill that up later on, but that's all connected and it's not leaking, it's all fine. I've obviously bolted these, I chemical bonded the bolts in and bolted these to the walls, wall plate here, and another wall plate down here as well. So after done that, I've built this area here, and I explained before about the DPC here, and also I've put in these extra supports under here. Remember I said that they would be sitting, so as you can see the joist is also sitting on that, so it's giving it some more support, as well as the screws in that side. And that end I've put hangers on, and I've got to put some more nails in that. Then I built this section here. Again, it's going to have exactly the same thing, so I'm going to build a wall underneath here to support this side. Just a temporary piece of wood just holding this up for me so that I could actually work, because I don't have any more long pieces. And then I will be doing exactly the same, so there'll be a wall here supporting these joists again like I did on the other section, and then there'll be a wall going down here as well. And again, I would have run 2 more here, but didn't have enough for that length, and I wanted to really get on with this. So what I did is, as you can see, I've come off this one, but I'm going to build a wall under this one as well. So this joist here will have a support underneath it, and then it will be taking the weight of these short spans. So I did try to keep the spans as short as possible. That way we don't need to use huge timbers. These sizes, according to the span table, are more than enough for what we need. You can go up to 1.5 meters, and I think the most I've got here is 1.25 or something like that. It's the longest span. Obviously I did all the noggins here as well. I did some noggins here, I'll do some here, and this is where the doorway is going to go, and all of these will be insulated with rigid board insulation, so they'll all be filled with insulation. This floor, the void will have an access panel under here, door sort of crawl space. You can get in there if you ever needed to get to the shower waste or anything, to get some plumbing done or whatever. If you had any issues, you can get underneath there, so that's part of the design. But yeah, other than that, it's been a productive day. You can see the size of the space now. It is quite big. Obviously I can walk on this section here, but yeah, standing on it here, it feels quite big. See if I can zoom out. Yeah, so it does feel quite big now, seeing that end of the bathroom here, and that end where the shower goes in here. So also I planned a few things with the shower, in that I made sure that this noggin, or this joist here, will be the edge of the shower tray will sit on there, so the weight of the shower tray will have a support on that end and on that end, and obviously there's a center one as well. So I'm on site now. I'm about to make a start on this. So first thing is to complete what I was doing yesterday. I'm going to build this frame up here, complete this. Then I'm going to go on the inside of the house, and we're going to start sorting this doorway out from the other side. Guys, so my decking is done, framing is finished. Now I am gonna start getting this door sorted out. I'm just gonna show you what I'm gonna do on this side of the wall. So this is where the wall is gonna be, right here. I made a little mark here where the left hand side of the door is. You can see it down there. So I'll get my laser on there and I'll mark that line. That's where they want the left hand side of the door to start. And the right hand side of the door will probably end up somewhere around here. I'm going to measure it out now. I'll show you what the measurements are and how I'm doing it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill loads of little holes with this long drill bit here. Loads of little holes all the way through to the other side. Just this way to minimize the dust. So I don't want to do any grinding obviously inside here. And I will break up a section above the door where the lintel is going to be in, because I want to get a couple of bricks out and I want to put a lintel in. Now with this wall, the amount that I'm breaking out, I don't really need any acros for this, and I'm also going to use a rapid set cement, so it's going to be done quite quickly, but I won't need any acros for this doorway. It's quite small. Anything wider than this, then definitely put at least one in, at least in the middle, but I'll be fine for this. So yeah, I'm just gonna mark this up, draw the door out, and then I'll explain to you what I've done. Alright guys, so I've marked this out now, basically, the template. You can see the door frame there all the way down around the outside, and you can see where the lintel is going to be on the outside of the door. Yeah, so gonna cut for now, drill these holes out, which will be along here, along this line, the outer line, and then I'm going to drill out and break out where the lintel is, make as less damage as I can, and then try and get the lintel in there. And then I'll have to do the same thing on the garage side. Right, so I have cut out for the lintel. So you can see I've cut into and taken that brick out. So I'm going to replace it with an engineering brick, which is sort of supported on the edge of that of the lintel. Same thing on that one. So we've got a bearing of about 12 to 13 centimeters, which is fine for something like this. Generally, if you're under about a meter, 100mm bearing is fine for this case, for something like this. Anything over a meter, you need to be at least 150mm. But this is fine for this doorway.
Yeah, so basically just need to clean it up now. I'm gonna cement that in with some rapid set cement and pack up the top as well, and then leave that to set. And then I'm going to go on the other side and I'll basically be doing the same thing on the other side. And then once that's all done and set, then the wall, the interior part of the wall can come down. Alright guys, so my lintel is in. Show you what I've done. We used the rapid set cement. So I've laid that engineering brick there, and I've also done the other one on this side. And you can see where our line comes up here, which is where we wanted it. And I put the lintel on, and I've packed this with cement right into the back. It's really important that you pack it in real tight, so it's fully, there's no gap between this brick and the lintel. It's just very tight. Push it until it can't go anymore, and then you know that you're good. So that's done all the way down.
that will set in about half hour, and then now that is taking the weight of the wall above. So basically I'm going to leave this overnight, and tomorrow I'll have some help. Me and Mr. A, we're going to take this wall down, and hopefully I can get the other side of this wall done today as well, and then we'll be able to open this whole wall up tomorrow.
Hi guys, this is me for today. A very dusty day, as you can see. Yeah, but mission accomplished. I got what I wanted to get done today, so I'm quite happy with that. Oops. And I'll just run through really quickly what I've done and what we'll be doing tomorrow. And yeah, let's get into it. So as you can see, I've done the lintel on this side of the wall, and you can just about see the second one on the inside of the house, which obviously I showed you guys already. And you can see the holes that will drill down the wall as well, where we're going to cut this when we're ready. So thinking about it, I don't think we probably will cut it tomorrow. We might cut it on Friday. What I think we'll probably do tomorrow is, I'll show you. Yeah, so tomorrow we will build these partitions. Once partitions are up, we'll probably plasterboard the outside part of the wall so we can close it off, and then we will open up this door, and at least then the elements won't be, you know, getting into the house. We've put the wall plates down, screwed that down. That's the header plate, which is the timber that fits at to the ceiling. And we've measured the vertical joints, and we're fixing them first to the top plate, and then we can lift it all up, and then we can fix the bottom. And also we're doing them at 600 centers. If you're using 12.5mm plasterboard, you do them at 600 centers. If you're going to use 9.5mm plywood plasterboard, you need to do it at 400. So we're using a thicker plasterboard, so we're doing them at 600 centers. That'll be fine. And if anyone wants to know, that is the regulations for that, just if you need to know.
That one?
Right guys, so this is what we've done so far. We have finished our framing, as you can see. There's a few little bits we need to just screw. We need to screw a bit here so that the internal plasterboard has got something to screw to. But these little bits we can do when we're ready to do the inside. Otherwise, this part has been done. You can see it's very secure, very solid. We've put on our noggins in as well, so it's nice and tight. So we're gonna go for lunch now. What we're gonna do when we come back, we're gonna try and get this wall out, and then when we get this wall out, then we plasterboard. Well, actually, we'll plasterboard the walls first on the outside of this, and then we can take these walls down. So yeah, that's the next stage. Okay, so what we've done today, good progress today. You can see we plasterboarded, one plasterboard short, which we'll do tomorrow. Floor is pretty much in. These two pieces are not screwed in, but we got to unscrew this. We've screwed it down and realized we shouldn't have screwed it down because we forgot to put the insulation down, which is supposed to be done tomorrow. So unfortunately we've got to unscrew this all tomorrow, fit the insulation in, screw it back down, and then we can start battening the walls and putting the insulation into the walls as well. We're gonna have to make a suspended ceiling here, which we're gonna insulate as well. Doorways cut out, obviously, as you can see. Doorway's been cut out. I just need to clean it up a little bit, but the messy stuff has been done. I'll just show you from this side. We're basically into the space, and it is a decent sized space. So yeah, good progress today, and yeah, we'll be back tomorrow on this and start putting some insulation and some battens in and starting to really transform this place. So we're on site now, and we're just taking this floor up. As I said yesterday, we screwed it down, we ran ahead of ourselves, so we forgot that we had to put the insulation in. So we're just taking this up, put the insulation, and then we can screw it back down. So what we've done is we've added some battening under each section where the insulation is going to be. It's going to be fitted quite tight anyway, but it's just an added protection of the insulation not falling down under the floor. So that's basically all ready to go. So we're going to install our insulation now, and then we can get our floor back down. Alright guys, so it's lunchtime for us. You can see what we've done. We have boarded up 2 partition walls here. So it's well insulated, this wall here now. What we're going to do when we get back from lunch is put the plasterboard on the other side of this wall here and insulate this wall. And we're going to put some moisture board on this wall here. This wall. We're going to put moisture board on all the walls to be in here, to be honest, except for around the shower. We're going to use a cement board on this wall here, and this wall where the shower is, and this will have moisture board, which is the green plasterboard, and then it will be tiled over. So we're going to shoot off for lunch, and when we come back we'll crack on. Hi guys, this is us for the day. We had a good day today. We got a lot done today. One good thing I'm happy about is we've closed this room up and insulated all the external partition walls. That way for the weekend, keep the house nice and warm. It's quite warm in here already, to be honest. I'll show you what we've done and just run through a couple of things. So we managed to get a lot of battening done. The only last bit we haven't finished is just the batten around the door. Well, we wanted to get the door frame, so we made sure we got the last batten to the correct depth here. But we've done everything else as far as the battening around the walls is done. up to here. We did the last bit of plasterboard behind there. We've obviously insulated all these wall panels. It's nice and warm in here. We've insulated the floor and we screwed it back down. That's all done. So it's ready to sort out the plumbing that's going to come up from the floor. I can get underneath this floor and sort out running the pipes that need to be done. Our waste pipe for the toilets here, just need to cut that out here, and everything else is pretty much easy to be done from underneath. What else have we done? Yes, door frame's done. So what we're going to do here with the door frame is we're going to wrap around this with plasterboard so that we'll get dot and dabbed, but we're going to fill this all in with cement, pack that all up with cement. It's fit nice around the top here of our lintel, so that's come out really nice. And what we did plan to do today, which we didn't get to do, was to start framing the ceiling. We're gonna basically insulate the ceiling with the same stuff, so it's gonna be super nice and warm in here. And we're gonna build a timber frame for the plasterboard ceiling to hang on. There'll be some spotlights in here and stuff like that, so we need to create a slight false ceiling which will come just underneath that pipe here. So all these pipes here will be running in the ceiling. There's also some radiator pipes that are going to come out through here and then come down to a radiator that's going to be here. And I think that's about it for now. Alright guys, so I'm back on site in the bathroom here. So I'll be on my own for probably most of today, to be honest. In here I'm going to work on a few little bits and stuff, try and do some plumbing in here. I've got a couple of things like this which we put in for the customer because they're gonna put in a grab rail here in the shower, so they wanted someone to put right here, and we're also going to put another one along here for another grab rail, and I think one here as well, just for future use. They might need to have some type of grab rails in here, so put a couple of timbers in there. I'm going to do a bit of plumbing. I've got the ducting to do, which I have the ducts here. I'll be using this low-level ducting kit, which will go in the ceiling and will go out to there, and it will run in the ceiling, and the duct will be somewhere around here. So this bit here sticks out, and that will be sticking out the ceiling here, and that's where the duct will be connected to.
So now I'm just going to build a frame for the ceiling so we can drop the ceiling down for the ducting and the lights and so on. Right guys, so the plan what I'm going to do with the ceiling is I'm going to insulate the ceiling with some more of this board. So I'm going to get the board up in hole before I put the cross braces. So I'm going to try and put it in as I'm going along, tuck it inside and sit it tight inside there. All right guys, so that was fun. I managed to get the insulation in the ceiling. So I've got this one is one big sheet. It's basically sitting resting on the joist here and here and here, and that's one piece, and then I've got another piece here, just a little bit too narrow, so I've got to put a little strip down the side, and that is basically the ceiling done, ceilings and walls. So you can see this, so we're going to have lights as well in the bathroom. So yeah, and the ceiling depth is fine for the lights. For the extract, I need to just sort out. As I said, I've got a low profile ducting, so I'm gonna fit the ducting just underneath the insulation, if that makes sense. So it's sitting underneath it, so I don't need to get on to the other side of the insulation. And then obviously the plasterboard will be screwed underneath these battens here. That'll be the plasterboard there. Once the ceiling plasterboard is screwed in, then we can screw the plasterboard and butt it up underneath and fit the plasterboards underneath. So I've just taken this, there was a bit of paper just blocking up the vent there, just took that out. And here's a throwback one. How old do you think this advert is? These are these sort of DIY washing machine valves. So you basically just clamp it onto the pipe, as you can see here, and basically once you tighten it up, it bores a hole in the pipe, so you don't need to shut the water off or anything like that. And yeah, people use them as a quick way under the sink to put in an extra tap or washing machine. But look at that advert, old school. But yeah, so I've taken this out anyway. I'm going to bit of foam in there as well. There you go. Oh. So this is where I want to use the outlet. Now I'm getting a little bit of trouble with the mouse space because it does fall below the ceiling. So I'm going to see if I can get a right angle for the vent to come down the back and then go that way, and then I'll have to brick up the bottom. So I'm going to shoot off and see if I can get one. There's not enough space for it to fit under here, so I'm actually going to have to cut this bit out and then put it in, and then put another brace underneath to support this little piece of timber for the ceiling. So I'm going to try and see if I can get the right angle first, and then I'll work on that. So I'm going to shoot off for lunch, and I'm going to check the other guys as well. They're down on this new build as well, see how they're getting on. Actually, I have to drop something off to them, so they're only 10 minutes down the road, so I'm going to do that and then I'll come back here.
Rock them so they go in the sick gun and they 6 now.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them.
People say they didn't really want it.
Right, so that's it for today, guys. Just run through quickly what we've done. So we've now insulated this bit of wall here. Something to remember, I made a little mistake here. These timber battens, you can see the thickness of these. I think there's something like 35 mil thick or 38 mil or something like that. When I put this one, I should have turned it on the long way, because it's a bit wider. It's a bit wider that way, and that way the insulation would have fitted in it, but it didn't. So we just added a bit of 12.5 mil plasterboard, and as you can see, that's brought it right up to the edge. So we can put our plasterboard on that wall. That's done. Ceiling is done. Again, just a little bit to do there. We've done a clean up. Also, I've just marked out where stuff is going to go. So here we've got the bidet here on the left. I've also marked out where my waste pipe and my hot and cold pipes are going to go, so I can get these in tomorrow. There's going to be a radiator here, 500 mil radiator. There's a toilet here, and there's a sink here, 600 wide sink, and then there's obviously the shower here, which is up to that edge here. So the shower is 1200 by 7600 deep. Is that right? No, 760 deep by 1200 wide that way. So tomorrow we'll work on the ducting as well, and then we could get this ceiling closed up and start plasterboarding these walls. But yeah, taking shape, and yeah, it's getting really warm in here now, all this insulation. But Insulate Britain will be very proud of us for the job that we've done here insulating this room. Get the vent in there, and that angle was perfect, but I need another right angle to go that way, and they only had one right angle in stock. So as I said before, everything's an issue with material shortages. Just causes delays all the time, and I need that vent sorted out before I can board up this wall. So I might have to board it up to here and just leave this section until I get that done, and then screw that bit of plasterboard on.
done.
Alright guys, this is just a quick interlude. I stopped by with the guys and was there for a little bit with them. The guys are just breaking up all the concrete here and just filling up this second skip today. They're just going to break up the existing concrete where the trenches are going to be. So this is going to be pretty much the back of the wall of the house here. And it's almost going to be the full width of the garden. So it's going to be quite a good size. And this is where it's going to come over onto the grass.
That's our second skip almost done. So this skip should be filled by today, and we're looking for skip number 3. So this is what the guys have done today. Busy day, breaking up concrete. They're breaking up the concrete for where the trench is going to be. Up to here. Breaking all this concrete up here. A lot of concrete was around here. All this bit of concrete here for the trench here as well. It's been broken up, opened up, and the foundation is going to come right up to here, and then it will run up that way, up to the top there. So someone was asking about size. Size is going to be about 4.2 by 9, roughly, something like that. So it's going to be quite a decent size. But yeah, that's it guys for today. So everyone's going home. So I hope you guys like this one, guys, and we see you soon. Take care. So that's our first piece of board on. You can see screwed in, and what I've done is this. What I tend to do, it's a lot easier for stuff like this. Cut the top to the right height, and then I'll just stick a piece like that on, and then I'll just scrap and cut this. So that way I'll get it perfectly to the right length that I want it. Alright guys, so we have light in here now, so no longer using that little fluorescent light that we had. You can see I've stopped here with this. I need another elbow, and they only had one in stock, so I've got to try and find another elbow to go into there, but it's all seated and running up to here. Also, I've stopped the plasterboard here so that I could actually put that piece on. Once I put the elbow and I fill up around that, I'll put that last bit of plasterboard there. It'll be ready for tiling. This side here is done as well. All this is going to be moisture board, so now I'm going to try and find somewhere that's got moisture board in stock, and all these walls here will be moisture board as well. We also got the radiator pipes in through, and they're going to run up to the bathroom. I'll show you where that runs to. So basically they come through this wall here, through the hole here, through here. With our hot and cold pipes, we run up into the bathroom, and we're also going to run these up through there and connect into the bathroom radiator, which is just above this window here. So that will be tomorrow. And we had a delivery as well, so show you guys what we got delivered. So we had quite a few bits come today. We had the tiles come, which looked like, hard to see here, I think they've got sort of like a marble sort of effect. There's a bag, there's one here. Let's have a look at this one. yes, sort of a marble effect tile, which looks nice. And the customer wants these laid vertically, so they're 600 by 300, so we're going to lay these vertically. We've also got the shower door as well, that's arrived, 1200 shower door, matte black sliding shower door, cool. And we've got our radiator, which has come as well, and just bits and bobs which we've already taken into the house. So yeah, that's we're just waiting for the tray now. We really need the tray before we can do the tiling, well, hopefully that comes possibly tomorrow. So other than that, guys, there's not really much I can do. I need plasterboard now, so I'm gonna see where I can find. I'm gonna make some phone calls instead of turning up and not getting anything, and then hopefully I'll find somewhere where I can pick up first thing in the morning. And then first job for me will be just plasterboard this room, and it's ready for the flooring. Flooring's arrived actually today as well. I'll see if I can find it and show you what that looks like. So this is the flooring, Paleo Click. It is waterproof, compatible with underfloor heating, and it's a click lock system, sort of like laminate floor, and installs over most existing hard floors. So this is going to go straight onto this 18mm ply. Let's have a look what it looks like. So this is it. You can see it looks like a sort of like a stone effect, and you can see the clicks on the side, click here, and basically that's what's going to go on the floor in here. Yeah, looks nice. Sorted.
So we are back onto the plasterboarding. As you can see, we're just about to do the shower area. So we've finished the vent pipe as well, and we've just put some expanding foam there just to kind of insulate that little area below it as well. But yeah, it's coming on well. We've pretty much done 90% of the plasterboarding, just around the reveals to do here of the door. But otherwise all areas are done. We've also temporarily fitted the radiator as well, just so that we can make sure that we've got everything in the right place. And we've also put a timber in the wall here so that we've got a good support to fix the top brackets into on the radiator. So now we're going to take this panel off, which we temporarily had screwed on, so that we can sort out the plumbing for the shower behind here, and then we can screw this panel up properly. So guys, we've installed our shower outlets, as you can see here. You can get a kit for this, which I tried to get today, but they didn't have any, so I added it this way, which is another way of doing it. So we secured these into the wall, and they're 150mm apart, which is the settings for the shower that we'll be using. And we've started running these pipes to the other units. So we've done the sink and the toilet. So we're just going to continue the plasterboarding, get the rest of this now plasterboarded up today, and that should be good for today.
So some of you guys have been asking about the plasterboard and whether I'm using cement board or whatever, and that, but this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be tanking the shower area. This is what we're going to be using. So it's got a primer in here, it's got the waterproofer, it's got corner tapes, it's got floor matting as well, but we're not going to be using floor matting. That's if you're doing like a wet room and stuff, so everything's in here for that. But we'll just be doing the walls within the shower area, the 3 walls. So that's the product we'll be using. We'll be tanking the area, which is where the white plasterboard is, hence why we've used that plasterboard. So you've got this wall here, Got this wall here, and you got that wall here. And then the rest of the walls are moisture board. So that's it for today, guys. Done a nice little clean up and just run through what we've done today. So we've pretty much got 99% of the plasterboard done. All these parts have been done, moisture board. It's just to sort out here. We're going to do some cementing here anyway before we do that. We've done shower area. We have got these shower pipes waiting on the other side of that. We started putting these in. We've put in the ones for the sink, one for the toilet. We've also cut the floor out where the waste is, as you can see. There's waste in here, so I'm going to block that up now. We've test fitted the radiator as well. This is a dual fuel radiator, so basically it runs off the central heating system, and it also has the option to be run electrically as well. Alright guys, so I'm on site now, and I've just started with the shower tray, which has arrived now. I'll just show you guys what that looks like. It's quite nice. Slimline, and it's got a slotted drain. You can see how slim it is here, and I think it's sort of made of some type of plastic. And this is the bottom, so this is the outlet. So we need to cut out a slight recess on the floor for this to sit in, so I'm going to make it about 1 inch wider than this. I've already marked it out here already, and start drilling some holes in it, so I'll get the jigsaw in there and cut that out. Two ways of laying these trays. You can lay them in a bed of sanded cement, or you can lay them with silicone, and that's what the manufacturer says. So we're nice and level here, we're nice and flat. If you've got a perfect flat surface like this, it just makes sense to do it with silicone. So I'm just going to apply it, a lot of it all over where it's touching here and around the edge, and then I'm going to slide it in place and bed it down, and just make sure with the level that you're level in all directions. So I've checked the floor already, and I'm good to go. So let's move this out of the way first. First I'll put some thick blocks on these little sort of feet.
So I'm just going to let this silicone set for a couple of hours, and then later on I will tank this area here. So the way you cut these, you can just use a knife and a straight edge, slice them and snap them. You can use a fine saw as well, but this is the best way to do it. I'm leaving a 5mm gap, so we've got 60 here, so I'll do 59.5. That will give me that 5mm. Like this, just do 2 slits, then use your knife and scribe this, and then you can snap it. Just like that. So the way you're going to do this flooring, you have to actually lay the whole strip, and then you've got to put the whole thing in together. So it is easier if you've got someone else with you, but if you're on your own, just make your way from one side and work your way down. guys, so this is where I stopped with the floor. I just need to sort this area out here, and then I can continue this last bit tomorrow. Basically this is where we're bridging from our new floor to these are the old floorboards here. And what we're going to do, because the carpet's obviously now short and we've spoke to a customer, we're going to put a timber threshold here like the one that's in the kitchen over there, so that will kind of bridge the gap, and that way you won't need to extend the carpet, which obviously we can't do. So we will take the flooring in here up to here, and then there will be like a timber plate here, which will try and keep it flat level with the carpet. So what I'm going to do now is just going to fill this up with some cement and try and get this kind of level and smooth across here for now. So always make sure you wash down the concrete, because there's a lot of dust. Wet it, wash it down, use a brush or something, get all the fine dust off it. And also when it's wet like that, it give it a good key for the cement. So this is above the damp-proof course, so we don't need to put any plastic or anything like that. Damp-proof course is below this brickwork, so we just set some cement on that. Alright guys, so this is the little screeding that I've done, as you can see close up. So I blended the line to the floor, so when we lay this little bit of discarding floor, it will run up to here. Okay guys, so while that cement is setting, I'm going to do this, start tanking this area, try and get this done before lunch, shoot off, and then I'll come back and finish it off. So the first thing I've got to do is the primer. I've got to give it 2 coats of primer, and then when that's dry, do the tape joints and the waterproofer on top. So the joint tape will go in the corners there. It's only 2 corners actually. So the only joins there is on this plasterboard. Also, you can see the area that I've marked with this, that line there. It's about 1.5 meters, so that tends to be where you need to go up to, so at least that area. So I'm going to show you what comes in this particular kit. I think this cost about, I think it was somewhere in the region of 65 plus VAT I paid for this. So what you have is, you have the primer here,
This is a matting for the floor. If you're going to a wet room, if you've got a wet room and you need to do the floor, use this matting. But we don't need this, so we have a tray. Then you have the bandage for the joints. Just a roll of bandage. 2 rolls of bandage. Because if you're doing a wet floor, you'd also do across the edges here on the wet floor. But we just need to do the 2 vertical ones, and then you have the waterproof coating itself here. So first thing I'm going to do is start off with the primer. Let's see, fast drying. So we do 2 coats of this according to the instructions. 1 coat at 1 millimeter thickness will cover up to 1 meter squared per kilogram. So this is more than enough water you need anyway. So I'm going to start off with this now. Primer, I'm going to go on. We'll just hit the edges with a brush. This is pretty much dry already. But I'll give it another minute or 2 and then I'll hit it the second coat.
Right guys, I'm going to do the second coat on this now.
Okay guys, so this is now dry, the second coat on this. So I'm ready to put the top coat on. So what you do is you put some on where the corners are going to be, then you embed the corners and then you go over the corners. Once you've done the corners, then you do everywhere else. So best thing to do is to pre-cut this so you've got it ready to go. I'm just going to cut 2 pieces. This up. Stuck a staple in here for some reason. Alright. So what I'll do, I'll pre-cut 2 lengths about 1.5. Okay. Take it all the way up. Then just go over the whole thing. Alright, so corners are done. So now that the corners are done, I can now paint the entire area with a coat. Give it a nice thick coat, 2mm. This is the best waterproofing really that you can do on your shower. It's basically a liquid rubber and it's highly waterproof. the last bit. Alright guys, so that's the shower done. As you can see, I've tanked it all the way up there. So the last bit of plasterboard to put up there after we did the vent there. So just to screw a piece of plasterboard there. I'll do that when this area is dry. But yeah, taking it all the way to the edge here. This is where the door's gonna be. So it's gonna have a sliding door, slide across, you enter this side. The shower controls will be here. Obviously the drain is here. That's how it's looking. Alright guys, so this is it for today. Just show you what I've done. So I've done the cement in here. Just let that dry. Done some flooring. Obviously I've stopped here. Just got one strip to do down to there. Once that's all set, I've done the tank in here. I've gone over it with a second coat as well. It says 2 mil thickness, so I've given it another coat, and it's just drying out now. Also I've picked up some of this as well. This is a trim that we're going to use. I'll just temporarily fit it on to see, but this is the trim that we're going to use on the edge, and I'll show you what it will look like, and I'll show you the tiles as well. So here's one of the tiles that we'll be using, and basically this will start, I've already measured it out, so this one will start here. So that's how the finished edge of the tile will be, like that. And these tiles are going vertically, so they're going to go vertically up the wall, and they will be a brick bond pattern. So if you look at the floor, if you imagine the floor is going up the wall, so it'll be sort of like a brick pattern but vertical. So the whole bathroom is getting tiled. Whole bathroom's getting tiled from floor to ceiling, all the way up around there, and obviously the shower area is going to get tiled as well. The tiles will start on the floor. I've measured it out. The tiles will be on the floor. There'll be a little bit of a cut off the top one, so this will go around the floor here, and the ones around the shower obviously will have a cut. But this is the level of the first tile. So tomorrow's job, I'll actually start the tiling. I've picked up all the tile adhesive already. I've got my metal trim, got the tiles, got spacers. Yeah, I'm gonna start tiling this tomorrow, get this shower area done, and start working my way out towards the door. Still need to sort out around that door, but I can get to that bit in between. But I'm gonna start the tiling, try and get this tiled up. Guys, so I'm back on site, and let's just recap what we did yesterday and what I'm going to do today. So shower's dried up nicely. Here, this is the waterproofing which I've done. So you can see I've applied a bead of sealant around between the shower and the wall. I always put a bead of sealant between there first, and then I'll do the tiling, and then obviously we'll have a bead of sealant which will go around the bottom of the tray as well. So first job for me today, I'm going to patch up this little bit of plasterboard here, that last bit there. Once that's done, then I'm going to start tiling. And how I'm going to tile is I'm going to do this wall first, and then when I've done this wall, then I'm going to do this wall, working out from the edge here across to there, and then I'll do this wall down to there. So that's the main 3 walls I'm going to focus on today. Is wall 1 here, and this wall and this wall. And if I get that far, then I'm going to do from that wall and go that way to there. So the last wall that should be left to do is this wall here, which obviously I need to sort that out. So hopefully I can get that done before tomorrow as well. I'll show you the what I did yesterday, which is drying up nicely. Get the concrete, so it's dried hard now, and you can see it's perfectly flush here with the floor. So that's come out really good, and that's ready to lay. I'll leave that to dry anyway. It'll be one of the last things I do, let that dry out properly. But otherwise I'm ready to start mixing up some adhesive and start laying some tiles. Alright guys, so let me just give you guys a little tip for tiling. This might help you if you're going to do something, especially like a shower. So this is the spacing out for the tiles. I'm using 2mm spacers. These tiles are 300 wide and fits perfectly. If you're going to create a shower space like this and you're going to use, say, a 1200 tray, make the space 1205. Just give it like ½ centimeter extra. That will help you to get your 4 tiles in there once time you put in your 2mm spacers and stuff like that. So that's one thing. Secondly, the pattern is going to be, as I said before, brick bond pattern. So it's basically going to be 4 tile here, then it'll be a ½ tile, and then a 4 tile on top of that one, then it'll be a 4 tile, then it'll be a ½ tile, and then a 4 tile, kind of on. So because obviously the tray is off the ground, can't start the first tile on there. First tile starts from the floor. So these tiles, the first row on top of the tray, will be slightly shorter by 2.5 centimeters. So I've measured a tile from the floor to the wall is here, and I run that line there, and you can see where that tile lines up. Okay, so these back tiles need to be slightly shorter to compensate for the step up. So I've already marked these 2.5 centimeters. I'm gonna cut this little bit off for the first 2 full ones, and the 2 half ones, instead of being 30 centimeters, they'll be 27.5. So they're slightly less than half. So just a little tip for planning out if you're going to tile something like this. Right guys, so I'm ready to go now. I've cut the first 4 tiles, the 2 long ones I've taken 2.5 centimeters off, and then the 2 halves I've taken 2.5 centimeters off. So ready to go. So I marked my center line. So I'll start to the right and to the left, and then after that it should be quite simple. Go straight up. Also, on your first tile, put a spacer at the bottom to give yourself space for your grout for your silicone underneath. Always leave a little bit of space underneath the first tile. For these light ceramic tiles, there's no need to back butter these for the wall. If I was doing a floor, I would, but you don't need to do it for these. I'm sure someone's going to disagree. Also, I'm going to be using a grey grout on this, so if you're using grey grout, use grey adhesive. If you're using a white grout, use a white adhesive. Because if you use a grey with a white grout, you might get bleeding through. So pick your adhesive based on what colour grout you're going to use as well. It's quite important. Here's another tip for you guys. If you're gonna tile, I know a lot of people now, they like very small grout lines, but unless you're very confident with the tiles that you've got, like especially if they're more of a high quality tile, don't go for 1mm spacers, because I've already come up to the first tile and it's not exactly the same size as the others. It's slightly, probably a millimeter wider. This tile is flush on that edge, but it's slightly a millimeter wider than this tile. Now, if I had a millimeter spacer, I wouldn't have any play. I'll end up with no grout line on that side. So I'm using 2mm, which gives me that allowance for dodgy tiles. And it's very, very common that tiles are not all the same size, especially the lower range budget tiles. So bigger spacers will help you to overcome these sort of issues. Yeah, so that's just another thing to bear in mind with small grout lines. It can become a nightmare if the grout lines are too small and your spaces are too small. Right guys, this is where I am so far. I stopped here and then I went for lunch. I've just come back and I'm going to continue. So as you can see, I've done 3 rows here and then we've got a cut up the top. I've also done these 2. I'll do these cuts last. I'm going to cut a little bit out of the side, so I'll cut these all at the same time, all the corners. Still haven't done that yet, but I'll come back to that. So I stopped here for now, but what I'm going to do, focus on taking this all the way down here to that corner, and I'm going to take it up to close to the end there as well. Right guys, I'm done for today. Good day today, and it's looking good. So what I've done is I did 2 mixes today, 2 big buckets, and I've just cleaned up now. I'm taking all the spaces out and just gonna cleaned all the adhesive off the tiles and stuff like that, and I'll show you what it looks like now. So this is the right hand side wall. I've done four columns, should I say. So it's just a bit on the right hand side to do. I've taken it all the way up to the ceiling, and on this wall I've done 5 columns, and I just got to do a fine cut on the edge there. I'll just show you guys the edging as well. It's the edging I was telling you about on the corners. So that goes all the way down to the floor, all the way up to the ceiling. And I just got 1 row of cuts to do here. I just started that with the last bit of adhesive that I had, so I'll just cut that one. Tomorrow I'll cut the other 3 pieces, and then that will be done. This wall is completely done here. I did the top part, put the plasterboard in, and I tiled it as well all the way down. So tomorrow's job will be to do this strip here, the other strip round the corner there, and then I can start this wall. Do that. That's a big, nice, big square wall there, and then obviously this largest wall here. So I should be able to get this done tomorrow, bar maybe a few little pieces around the door, because I'll try and get the tiling finished and then finished a little bit around the doorway so that I can tile it the next day, which will be the day I'll be skimming the ceiling. So yeah, and then I'll just tile that last bit after. And today's task is get this wall here done and get this wall here done. So
these are the easier cuts to do, so quite straightforward. So on just these ones here, I've got to do those funny cuts here again, like I did on that side. As you can see, there was one cut here, and these cuts were 2.5 centimeters shorter to allow for the difference in height here. Yeah, so that's it. So this is as far as I've got now. I've done 6 columns on that wall here. I did make a slight mistake here, so I had to take these ones off and redo them. But luckily I noticed when I got a little bit further, basically that first tile here, I'd cut it 27.5, like I did with that one, not remembering that this one is actually 30 centimeters because it touches the floor. So I just had to cut this one again, put a new one, and shift these up. Because when I got to the top, I realized that this line here was lower than that one. So, but as a quick rectification, I've cut out these for the shower, and this is also for a mirror as well. I also did this corner here, the last cuts, just a fine little cut off the edge I had to do there, and the same thing for this corner here, which I've done now. So I've done that all the way down to the corner there. So now for me to continue here, I need to actually get this flooring. So I need to put a strip of flooring in here, and then once I put that little bit of flooring, then I can start tiling around here. Radiators slightly moving over, ended up being a bit too close to the bidet, so we had to move these over slightly. Yeah, so that was easy enough to do. So I'm going to lay this bit of flooring here, and then I'll continue tiling.
Right guys, that's it for today. Show you what we did. The guys came down and gave me a hand. We did a nice little tidy up, a little clean up as well. You can see I've cleaned up everywhere. Just gave the floor a nice little mop. So flooring, we got to this area here. See where we've stopped with the floor. Tiling, we did pretty much most of that wall there. This whole wall at the back here has been done as well, and you can see finished the little corners from yesterday as well, and done all this side here as well. So all we've got left to do with the tiling is literally around that door area, but we are short on tiles, so we've got about 7 tiles left, and I think we're gonna need something like 13, so got to get another box. So that box is on order to get delivered. In the meantime, we can get on with some other stuff. Also got the radiator pipes done and sorted as well, ready for the radiator. So tomorrow we will probably grout what's here now, so that way we can actually start getting on with some other stuff while we're waiting for these tiles. We'll get this done here, put some foam around the gap here as well, because there's a slight little draft between the timber there. We'll get this all ready for tiling tomorrow. We will probably grout this, and once this is grouted, we can actually do things like fitting the radiator on and stuff like that, start fitting in the toilet and sink and stuff like that. Then all the shower bits get fitted once it's grouted. But the first job we'll be doing tomorrow is this ceiling. This ceiling's gonna get skimmed first thing in the day, and then probably after lunch we'll start getting on with the grouting and all these other little bits and stuff. So all right guys, so we're back on site, and we're ready to get this ceiling done. You can see all the joints are taped up. Also put some masking tape around the edge here just to keep everything clean. And also we're going to be grouting in here as well today. So a lot happening here today. Gonna crack on. First coat done on the ceiling.
Ja.
Just flatten down the first coat.
Hur vill alltså ta vidare till det? Vad vill alltså säga på nu?
And as you can see, the guys have been grouting. It's all happening at one time. You see the colour of the grout here. It's like a light grey, but it will get lighter as it dries. The guys are almost done. It's this one and this one here. Grouting's nearly done. Done the first pass with the sponge. Clean it up. Ceiling is still drying out on the first coat. Should be ready for a second coat, probably another 10 minutes. It's looking good. ceiling is done now. I'm just gonna give it one last pass in about 10 minutes. And that's done. Alright guys, so we're giving the place a nice little clean, taking all our plastics up. Walls have been grouted and cleaned. Just got to let it dry, and then we'll just polish the tiles once it's all dry. Ceiling is done. I know people are asking, why didn't you do the ceiling before you did the tiling? Yeah, I would have if I had the time when I was gonna do it, but when you're doing lots of different trades and stuff and organizing lots of stuff, you got to do what you can do today, and that way we keep things moving and we don't waste time. But it was very easy to do the ceiling, to be honest. And yeah, so we're all done. So we're gonna go for lunch. When we come back, we're gonna start test fitting some of this stuff. Alright guys, we're done for the day, and this is what it's looking like. We got the ceiling skimmed today, the walls grouted, we got the mirror done, we've got the radiator on the wall, just need to connect it down the bottom. We've got the bidet that just needs to be plumbed, the toilet's plumbed, the sink, we just need to do the waste for the sink. Silicone around the shower as well, so that's ready for tomorrow to put the shower screen in, and we'll fit the shower controls in tomorrow as well. And also we've got the vent extract to put in tomorrow as well. And then next week we can paint the ceiling and finish the last bit of that tiling. Tiles have been ordered, so we're just waiting for them to be delivered, and we'll finish around this area tomorrow and fit the door and all that. So this is what it's looking like so far. So alright guys, so we're off now, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, so we're on site, and you can see the ceiling is drying out nicely in here. It's quite warm, so it's drying out quite quickly. What today's jobs are, we're going to fit the shower screen, which we're going to do now. And we've also got Mr. A is going to fill up around the frame some cement, and then we're going to plasterboard around that as well today. So that's one of the jobs today, and gonna try and do some connections, more connections, connect up the wastes for these. That one's done already. We need to do the waste for the bidet as well. Yeah, so just gonna do a couple of jobs. Let's do some silicone in, sealing up. Also gonna fit these shower heads on today as well. It's another job to do. Yeah, so let's get on with it.
the thing with the screw on the side, you know, inside, you know, like the last one, the last bathroom, you know, the bathroom. Then three, but three there, pass the screw. Yeah.
I don't know.
You are doing nothing, you know.
Everyone asking questions about you. They don't ask questions about me.
Right.
So, all right. So that's all cemented up, and now Mr. H just put some plasterboard up in there for us. Get that nice and ready for tiling. Job done. So we've fitting the frame in there now. I'm just ready to put the sliding door, put all the seals on, and the shower doors done. Looking nice. And I'm gonna move to the B-Day now. Toilet's done already. Oh yeah, just got connected. Yeah. Just need to connect the inlets to the B-Day. I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna drill the holes in down there. Put the B-Day in. As you can see, Mr. A started undercoating the ceiling. Just giving it a coat. First undercoat. Our tiles have now come, so this area will probably get done tomorrow. Oh, we've also put the door in as well. I'll show you that. So I just need to obviously plaster around here. Put the doors in, door stops are in. You can see all the way down. And this door's going to get varnished as well. Yeah, so just going to do this B-Day plumbing now, then get underneath this floor and connect everything up. And then I can go and make the connection upstairs where it's connected to the bathroom side, and then we can test. Alright guys, so I'm just going to give you a quick update on what we've done today. Really didn't get to film much today because we just had 100 small little jobs to do, and I had a lot of running around and trying to find little bits and not having in stock, just absolute nightmare just for little plumbing bits and stuff like that. Have to go one shop and go somewhere else, and they've only got one, and you know, but managed to just get a lot of little bits done. I'll just show you what we've done and run through it. Sorry I didn't get to really film, but I just want to give you guys the update on the progress for today. So it's a short video, just showing you what we did, so I'll show you now. Alright guys, so where should we start? What I've done today? Well, Mr. A did the ceiling. He's painted the ceiling and it's looking great, as you can see. I started doing some sealant around the edges, as you can see here, but I ran out, but that's fine. I gotta get some more. I gotta do that part there once I tile that area anyway. The tiles arrived this afternoon, so we didn't get that far, but I've got that little area there to tile and grout, and then that we finish. Also, we finished that last little bit of floor in here, as you can see. Just needs the threshold there now, and that'll be done. The door jambs are all in as well. As you can see, we put 3 hinges on the door. Door has been done. It's literally just waiting for its locks and stuff, which we're waiting for them to give us. I've connected up the radiator as well, as you can see here. Just need to put some chrome caps over that. I did a lot of plumbing today. I did all the plumbing from this side of the bathroom. You can see the waste going down for the B-Day. Hot and cold pipes are there. Also, I've done the ones in the sink as well. Same thing, that all goes down onto the floor. You can see the pipes at the back there as well, and all silicone around them. Toilet's been done before anyway. I started on the shower, but I'm missing something for the left hand side, because everywhere you go either don't have what you need in stock, or they only had one, so I used the one, and I'll get another one tomorrow just to make the connection in there. The extract fan is in as well, buzzing away, it's in. ready to go. There will be a pull cord switch in here. The wires in there. There'll be a pull cord there to isolate it. And what else have I done? Did some silicone in as well, as you can see. Did around the bidet here. It's all been screwed down. Bidet, as you can see the fixings there. Toilet's being screwed down as well and fixed. You can see the fixings here. And the sink has also been siliconed in. It's all done. So by tomorrow, I need to get under the floor and connect all these pipes that are right down the bottom. Now connect them all up, hot and cold, waste, and then we're good to start running some tests in here. So yeah, all I've got to do now is pop these lights in, and then I've got to get some silicone to go around the floor, and also up in the vertical, all the vertical joints in the shower and all that, and then otherwise we'll be pretty much done in here. The door needs to get varnished, and the door frame needs to be painted white, so that will get done once all this is tiled. So that's tomorrow's job. Get this all tiled tomorrow, get everything siliconed in here, get underneath the floor, connect up everything and run some tests, and then we're pretty much gonna be almost done in here. So that's the plan for tomorrow. So I'm on site now, and I've done a couple of bits. I'll show you what I've done so far, and then I'm gonna jump off for lunch, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm gonna film some of this work that I'm gonna be doing. So basically I've been working on the plumbing, I've been working under the floor, so I've not been able to film because literally it's a crawl space, and I've been under there stretching my arms and connecting pipes and stuff, so I've not been able to film that. I've connected upstairs, I'll show you that as well, and I've also now just quickly fitted the shower unit, so I'll show you that as well. So here's the shower that's been fitted, you can see that's all been fitted on the wall now, and basically that's connected there. I've also given it some clear sealant all the way around here as well. I normally do that just to extra waterproof it. I fill around the inside of that silicone as well, and then that's just basically fitted to the wall with a screw. Then this bit slots in here, and then Allen key it up, and then this can turn left or right, and then you just tighten it up here. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is a dual control shower. You've got, you can see here, so let me just zoom in. You've got the handheld here, that's off obviously, which is where it is now, and then you got the one at the back here, which is the shower head. So you can use one of them at a time. Then this is the temperature control, which I had set to hot, so that's here. That's automatically set at 38 degrees, and then you can turn it up or down if you want, but usually that's good where it is. So that is done. Also I connected the trap as well, so I just need to complete connecting it underneath the floor to the waste. The hot and cold pipes are connected. I'll show you, put that in here, and so we've got water, cold side and hot side. There's a gravity feed system in this house, so the pressure is not the best, especially on the hot, but it will be better than the bathroom upstairs at least anyway. Toilet is done, toilet's flushing. You can see the toilet's done. Bidet is also connected just like the sink. So I am going to go for lunch. When I come back, I'm going to complete the connection of the waste under the floor, the last connections of the waste, and then I can test all the wastes. And then I'm going to get on with the tiling around the door. The client said he's going to do the oiling of the door. He wants to do that as his little project and try and match it with the other doors, so he's going to do that. We're going to paint the frame, and then yeah, let him do that. So yeah, I'm going to shoot off for lunch and come back and then get back onto it. Alright guys, so I'm at the garage, just going to show you what we've been up to and what I'm doing here. I'm still here. Mr. A's just left. He's painted the frame here, as you can see. I fitted the door lock the other day, and the door handle and all that stuff. Obviously I can't close the door at the moment, and I'm right now connecting the radiator upstairs. I'm just waiting for the system to drain. It's one of the old systems. I've got drain from the tank and all that. It's no combi boiler, so it's real long-winded to do. A couple of things I did here the other day: fitted these on the wall here, fitted a toilet roll holder as well here, and the shower and everything is working. Customers have been using it, they love it. It's all been working nice and fine. Our extract's there. We've also got a nice array of the extract. I just need to do the caulking, the last bit of caulk there. As you can see, I've done those tiles now around the door. As you can see, all around here, I've done the tiles, and around the back here as well, all the way down. Yeah, so I don't want to close this door because it's I had to do a little plane on the door here, so I've got to stain it. Just re-stain that bit there. Otherwise that's it. So I'm just, as I said, connecting up this radiator and waiting for it to drain out. As you can see, I've got holes here. That's running up to where the tank is in the airing cupboard, and that's running all the way out here. Should be finished draining by now. You can see how dark it is. No, it's not finished. You can see it's still draining. So yeah, just waiting for that to drain out, and then I can cut the radiator pipes and join this new radiator in.
So guys, after I got the radiator done, I did come back and finish off some final little bits. Just wanted to recap, remind you what the garage space looked like before. So this was the day one photograph, and this is the last day. So as you can see, door frames have all been painted, everywhere's been grouted, ceilings painted, silicone everywhere, also silicone around all the utility units. Fitted some fixtures to the wall as well, towel rails and so on. And there's also a rail, grab rail in the shower as well. Shower screen has all been siliconed, everything's functioning and tested. The radiator's all working as well. So I hope you guys have learned something. If you want to take on something like this, you've learned something from this video, and let us know what you think of the final product. So guys, thanks again for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, we would love it if you could subscribe, and also give us a like on this video if you enjoyed it and learned something from it. So until the next one, we shall see you soon.